Odessa, you're absolutely wonderful in this film. Congratulations.
Thanks.
She makes a real impact on so many kind of areas of it as well. What was the appeal for you for this role?
Well, Bruce. I mean, obviously, like, yes, also Scott, also Jeremy, also just the team in general. But the first thing I knew about it was that it was just a Bruce Springsteen biopic. I found out about the project before Scott even came on to direct it. So it was just kind of floating around in the ether. And I'm a massive Bruce fan, so I was following it very closely.
And were you aware of kind of, at what point did you become aware of the kind of the specific nature of, you know, it's not a typical biopic in terms of it's a beautiful portrait of this man at this time.
Yeah.
When did you become kind of aware of that and your particular role, really?
Yeah, I think that I can't remember if it was part of that initial announcement that it was going to be Warren Zanes' book.
Yeah.
But knowing, at least when Scott came onto it and he was adapting it, knowing Scott's work, I knew that it was not going to be, you know, a typical biopic.
Yeah.
And also knowing that it was using Warren's book as the material, and that was about this very, very specific period of Bruce's life that he really hadn't talked about in great detail yet.
Yeah.
That was definitely a tip off of like, oh, okay, I think this is going to be a little like left of kilter a little. Go ahead.
And then what's your jumping in point to the character? Where did you start with her?
Well, I think that I started with the script. I think that Scott had a pretty clear idea of who Faye should be, and she morphed a little bit. There were scenes being added while we were making the film that were kind of clarifying her a little bit, which was so helpful and brilliant to kind of you know and also kind of scary as an actor when you start getting new scenes out and you're like, oh, I have to this is a bit different. But like really beautiful stuff, and he was also telling me about why he was adding them and what he was doing with these scenes. And like, for example, the Dinah scene, I that was not in the original script that I had read. Yeah, so it was. I mean, a version of it was, you know, but the really specific, the directness of how she speaks with him in that scene was maybe not so fleshed out yet. And then reading that scene, honestly, probably like a week and a half before we ended up shooting that scene, was kind of like, oh, I know who she is now. I know what she's fighting for. And so that, just using his script, because he had had all the conversations with Bruce about who that person needed to be to represent this time.
And for people who haven't read the book, who is Faye? You know, in terms of...
She's not in the book. I think that she's kind of this, you know, she is imagined to be this person who introduced the idea of Bruce's maybe romantic or family future to him.
Yeah.
She's a single mother. She has had a failed relationship that gave her a daughter she loves very much, and she, you know, I think Bruce sees maybe a version of his future in his relationship with Faye. Yeah. And for, you know, the reasons that he is making this album, which are not very nice reasons, you know, these are like he's exercising something, he's trying to purge something, he's trying to fix something. For those reasons, he can't quite engage in the future that she can imagine with him at that time, which is that beautiful tension that we all know in relationships. You know, this isn't a story about like someone getting too famous to be able to have a regular relationship. Because as we know, he went on to have one of the greatest marriages in music history. And I think this is just about, you know, two people being at slightly different stages.
Because he was so present on, you know, on the shoot, you know, he was around all the time, which must have been slightly disconcerting. But did you speak to him at all about, you know, this character that you were playing, how he felt about her, your interpretation of her, Scott's interpretation of this character?
Not specifically about the character. He was around a lot, and he was so generous in what he was offering to us. And I know if I had asked him specifics, he probably would have gone into them. But I think that he was always so respectful of what we were going to do with the parts anyway, that I don't think he wanted to kind of hone us in any way. Yeah. But I remember, you know, his reaction to the breakup scene, which was added because of a conversation that he'd had with Scott.
Wow.
Was really beautiful. And I remember, you know, kind of coming out of doing a take of that and taking a little breather in the parking lot. And he was saying, you know, someone really said that stuff to me, and it's really nice to kind of see it be you know, represented in this way. And I think he was, I won't speak for him about what that meant to him, but I can imagine that he's standing there as he is now and thinking about what if he hadn't learned that lesson.
Yeah.
But he did, and that's why he's here today, and I think that's a really beautiful thing.
I just love how much he opened himself up, his life up to you all to tell his story.
I'm extremely grateful.
She loves the Stone Pony.
Yeah. I mean, have you been?
No, I'm
wouldn't love
desperate
the Stone Pony. The Stone Pony's a great time.
Was it fun to kind of like shoot there? Because I did a thing with Bruce and Jeremy last night, and Bruce was just saying how the place has not changed. You know, it's kind of... So, you know, he still pops in there every now and again.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff. What was it like to shoot
He was there on set. He, like... I walked in one day, and he's sitting there, and... he like walked behind it was empty, you know, we had the whole thing for the day's work, and he just walked behind the bar and got himself a beer out of the fridge. Like he owned the place.
Kind of probably
he's kind of an honorary honorary owner at this point. Anyway, it's the energy of it is you can't replicate it. You know, there was no way that we could have gotten that feeling in a studio or on a stage. I think that it needed to be the Stone Pony because the people, you know, it's like you can see it in the way that the background actors perform in that scene.
Yeah.
They're at a show, they're at a gig. Like Jeremy and, you know, the cats, they were playing on stage, they were playing live, and everybody's there sweaty. You're smoking those fake cigarettes, you're drinking those non-alcoholic beers. And if you do that enough, you start to feel like you're smoking real cigarettes and drinking real beer. And you know, it's loud and your feet are getting trodden on. Like it's real. It's very, very real. And, you know, even though I haven't ever seen a real show at the Stone Pony, I kind of count that as like, I've seen a show at the Stone Pony, definitely.
Scott's written such a great part for you, and your performance is just, it's so beautiful and so effective to Jeremy's performance, and I think the whole kind of story and how we relate to it as well. It's brilliant. One last thing before we go, and it's a strange but hard question. If you could be in the scene of any film or TV show, what would it be? I love your facial expression.
Like anything?
Anything.
Anything? In one scene
ever.
Of anything? Ever?
Yeah. First one that's popped to your head.
Okay, I just watched this last night because we're in London, right? I'm watching my favorite London film, which is Naked by Mike Leigh.
Oh, wow.
I would love to have been just like one of the people that David Thewlis encounters in that film. I think I would. I can't choose a specific scene. I'm thinking probably like when he's talking to that brilliant Scottish actor who like has the tick.
Yeah.
I would love to have been in like one of those scenes.
Great choice. It's a great that. And can I say congratulations on Black Rabbit as well?
Oh, thank you.
I loved it.
Oh, cool.
I
Great.
watched it.
Oh, so glad.
I couldn't just like feed me.
It's a binger, isn't it?
So good.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Stressful.
Yeah, very. Congratulations on this. It's a really beautiful performance. Thanks, Odessa.
Thank
Great
you
to chat
so
to
much. So lovely to meet you.